Fantastic, good to see you. Okay. Vishy, age before beauty. So, okay. You did make your debut for India 2 years before, so you have that older memory. And we don't want to really get into cricket so much today because what have they done that's not storied already, that's not heard 500 times? I do want you to remind us about your first memory of somebody who's going to become your brother-in-law later. Your first memory.
First I saw him in Manitoba World Cup, Hyderabad. At that time, I was very much in Hyderabad. And just about a week before I played my first Ranji game at Viswanath, and I scored 230 my debut. Then Mr. Man Singh, he sent a telegram from Hyderabad and he said, please Mr. Vishwanath, come to Hyderabad to play this tournament. I said, which tournament? Hey, you don't know the Manitoba World Cup. No, I know only Ranji Trophy. I thought, it's a big thing, and I just concentrated on that whole week, and I want to relax now. I don't want to play any more games. So now you come here because it's a very prestigious tournament, and you see lots of former cricketers as well, and future cricketers. Then I realized, yes. Immediately, I from Vijayawada I went to Hyderabad, and that time Sunil was playing for Cold Silver, VST Cold Silver. Yeah, then I saw, we're not playing against each other, but so those days, most of the teams stayed at the stadium, which Manadola, tournament, couple of teams they stayed there. So I also stayed there, and I wasn't playing in the next game. So I saw, but I heard Sunil, some people saying that technically very sound. I said, okay, let me see. I mean, it's not that, let me see how technically it is. It's not like that. Just I want to see, people are already talking, and then I saw he scored about 60. That impact, I'll never forget even now. The way he was batting, coming behind the line, and the strokes which he made also, absolutely brilliant and clean. And I said, he looks like a cricketer, yes, big cricketer.
Looks like I had to get to know him a little bit better for several reasons. One, of course, we'll know later. But SMG, just about everybody who knows the game, follows the game, uses a certain word for GRV, and many words are used, but there was some sense of pure genius with what was going on. Your first thoughts, because he obviously made his debut 2 years before you, so he was in the public eye, as it were, before you played for India, and just your pure memory about his game and his cricket, and what that did to you, saying, okay, when I hope to make it to India, was there a lesson somewhere there, or you just followed something entirely on your own?
I think, again, it was at Hyderabad where I had my first sighting of Vishy. It was actually the nets. He was in the nets, and the way he was just flicking the ball from around the off stump, towards the leg side was, and in those days, if I might say, I hate to go back to those days, but the pitches had a little more grass, and so there was a little more carry for the quicker bowlers, and of course in the nets bowlers bowl from 18 yards or 20 yards, they don't have to bowl from 22 yards. And the time that he had, that was the standout memory. We again, a lot of us had, been told about Vishy. I don't think Vishy had at that stage. I'm not too sure Vishy had played even Ranji Trophy. I'm not too sure. I'm talking about 1966, the first Onagava, and just to see that, I was saying, oh, this. I mean, when me in Mumbai would have played the same deliveries here towards the offside because they were on the off stump playing there. Here was somebody who was trying to play down there. He was playing there as well, and to be able to do that consistently was something which was really eye-popping. So that is something that I remember. Subsequently, of course, I've been fortunate, not always from 22 yards, because I think in our career we played maybe 80, 90 test matches together, but I think we have just had 200 partnerships, 2-century partnerships. The first time was when we played in a test match together for the first time. That was a century plus partnership, and then many years later. I mean, the problem basically was with me because by the time he came into bat, I would be back in the pavilion. So that was the problem. But to see the way he would tackle the best of bowling, make it look as if he was having a net, that's been the standout. I've seen over the years many players, but very few who made batting look so ridiculously simple as Vishy.
You're a genius. A lot of people keep saying risks of steel and stuff like that, but was it really strong risks or just the timing or some kind of fabulous artistry, wizardry?
Yeah, just now when I came here, myself, Dilip and Sunny were just talking, and he came there, I saw his test match, first test, Kanpur. I was there. He scored zukku in the first innings, and then he scored 100. The first shot, first boundary he scored was tukku. It was going, he said. So yes, he scored 25 boundaries. No, but, yeah, but actually, I was very thin. Actually, I never played state schools. When I went for trials, the chairman of the selection committee then, took quite a few years, but I'm talking about our school days. So he looked at me and he said, no, you can't play leather ball. So, I can't argue with him, and so I went back and I told my family saying this thing. Don't worry. My brother said, you just relax and playing your game, you'll be all right. So, but after that, only thing I was getting boundary was playing out, on the offside, slashing. Whenever I, driving, it was not reaching the boundary. Till I played Ranji Trophy. It was reaching, but it used to take time. Yes. So when I played against Hyderabad, when Tiger Pataudi was playing for Hyderabad, he was playing for Delhi earlier, but he played a couple of years for Hyderabad, and I scored 60 odd in that match, and then we met in the evening like Jaisima, Pras, Chandra, all, in the evening where we used to, I used to be with them because I just want to be in that company. So there Tiger told what you do for your, strengthening your wrist, and why don't you go for gym? I said, what? Gym, what is that? I said.
Jim Corbett.
That time I didn't know. Then he said, okay, take dumbbells, and so I don't know what dumbbells are. At least you have buckets at home. He said, yes. Do one thing, take 2 buckets, put full of water, I said. Keep lifting that about 100 times, 3 or 4 times. And that really helped me. So after, not immediately, of course, it took time. But once I got that, what you say, yeah. So I never ran after that, I used to see the fielders running for really.
I never ran out of it. Wrist is still.
As
Wrist is
we
the
go for it. I mean, I have 1,000 questions, but I really want to develop this to when it became a different kind of relationship. Because it was a lot of cricket between the two of you, and then things turned. And I don't know whether to ask you whether you were absolutely, I'm actually a leading question, delighted that somebody with wrists of steel is now a brother-in-law. It's you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it came as a bit of a surprise, to be honest. He had been chopping ahead, but maybe I was too. I wasn't able to take it because on one of the tours he was singing a song. It's a Hindi song, film song. मैं कहीं कभी ना बन जाऊं तेरे प्यार में वो कविता. He kept on singing in front
Could
of
be
me.
more leading than that.
No, I mean it was. I mean my sister's name is Kavita for those who are not aware, and it never struck me that he was actually dropping a hint while humming this song in front of me. But that's what happened. But actually it's quite a funny thing. I was hauled up by the BCCI for writing an article where I had called the selectors court jesters, and so they called me for a disciplinary hearing in Bangalore, and we were at the West End Hotel where the disciplinary hearing was, and so the morning session had gone without me. I mean, the discussion had gone on about what I meant, etc. Why did I say this, etc. And then we broke for lunch because there was really no progress made. So we broke for lunch. So when we broke for lunch, I came back to my room, and then I found B. Raghunath, his mate, and him coming and asking me how did it go. So I said, I'm being, stubborn. I'm not agreeing to any apology or anything of the sort. But so they've just taken a break. So he said, oh, okay. And then Raghu said, do you want to speak to your dad?
Let the cat out of the bag.
No, I said, hello, this is about me writing an article. What do you have to speak to my dad about? So I was like completely taken aback. But speak to my dad for what? So I said, no, about Kavita. Kavita? So no, Vishy and Kavita. I said, oh, it was like it sort of came. So that's how it was. So right back in the middle of a disciplinary hearing, where my mind was completely elsewhere, is when I came to know the whole family. I mean, all of us are very, very delighted that everything went down smoothly. He's got a son who's going to get married in a couple of months' time. So fantastic. So we're very proud. We're very proud of Vishy.
Always nice to hear that.
Thank you.
Late cut by Vishy. Never knew what happened. Paul just pretty well done. Oh gosh, I got so much to ask, but I know time is a little short. We may just mingle and go home, but I mean, if you permit us another couple of minutes, please. By the way, Ajit, thankfully times are different. And if you don't think they're different, talk to Jimmy. Where's Jimmy? Right? Yeah, has something else to say, or did then, but it's all quiet now. Did Jimmy borrow that phrase from you, or you borrowed from Jimmy? We don't know, but it was pretty similar.
Yeah, I think Jimmy called them jokers. I call them court jesters. And I would ask for an explanation, what is court jester? Court jesters are those who do the bidding of the court. And I said that I told the disciplinary guys that that's what I meant. So anyway, let's not go into that. That was many years ago.
No, we won't. Okay, well, I mean, like I said, it's a family evening, so in terms of ambition for the children, both of you have very special sons, good friends of mine. But did you really wish for them to follow in your footsteps, or did you really leave them alone?
Yeah, definitely, yes, because he started playing cricket, yes, but started, people saying, oh, what a gene, daddy's cricketer, uncle, much more famous. And Rohan also played for the country. Of course, Nana Mama, all that kind of stuff. His uncle played for India, so all these things. So he got into it a bit. But till under 16, 18, he was very serious. But he did a lot. Nobody's done except his brother, the family. And he just wanted to do that. And he completed, and then he got a job in Mumbai and is getting married now. And what else you want?
I'm sure he's very, very happy. And you too, Sunny, happy with the way things have panned out? Tell me what.
No question about it. I think every parent wants his child to go on to become a good human being. Success and failure is not always, it's up there. So, but you just want a contented, good human being, and I think that is the situation. So, I'm very happy with what life is at the moment.
That's good. Vishy, you mentioned earlier, in Hyderabad particularly, some very illustrious names of the game. And I'm tempted to ask you whether the test was tougher in the evening or during the day? Whether the evenings were a tougher test than the day itself with the kind of company that, that illustrious company we talked about.
Most of the time, always had a very good debut, except the test scored 0 in the first innings. But I overcame that very quickly. So everywhere, wherever I went, so I was very, very smooth.
You went down well. Okay, well we can't push that, but can you imagine if there were yo-yos and other tests and what have you those days? It would have robbed us of genius. But of course, time moves on and there's evolution and everything changes, and so did the game. But SMG, how do we wrap this up? Because time is a little short with everybody here. Can we just have final words from you about where we are today in the game, the way it's moved on, and are you entirely happy? Are there a couple other things that you would love to suggest as improvements still, whether it's the people or the game itself?
I think where Indian cricket is, it's in a real happy place, no question about it. Look at the talent pool that is available. I mean, just now we had a few senior members who are not available, and yet we beat an England team, and 4-1. We just didn't beat them, and with a bit of luck we could have won the first test as well. We lost only by 24 runs, so we could have had a 5-0 result. So, and the fact that there are so many others coming in all formats of the game, not just the long format, is something that is most heartening. It tells you that the future of Indian cricket is pretty solid. And congratulations to Rahul and Ajit both for having. Having made sure that they've made the best of the resources. It's not always easy. It is tough when your best players are not available. But then to be able to find the replacements who have come in and delivered, I think must be very satisfying to both Rahul as well as Ajit. And I personally also want to thank Rahul for having taken the time to come here this evening for this function. I know you had a really tough last couple of months, and I know you probably want to break from everything, but thank you so much, Rahul, for making the time to come here for this occasion.
Well, you guys might remember my crusade, and this is a good time for me to remind you. For Rahul Dravid being here tonight, nice and loud and warm and generous. That's how we probably feel inside. How would they know? Only through the loudness, genuineness of applause. You have final words from the genius himself as well. Out of 100,000 questions, I mean, how unfair is that? But I will ask you, GRV, about do you? Personally, I know you've taken it really well. Your career and then the end of the career, everything you are now. I mean, you're very chilled and very relaxed and what have you, but were there times, or is there still some residue now of maybe getting a little more out of the game, or are you entirely satisfied considering all that you did?
Well, any human being, I don't think entirely satisfied. Yes. Of course, my career, I really enjoyed it. Absolutely, there's no two ways about that. And the best thing I always, think about the cricketers during my listing, which I came across, I think the greatest cricketers ever I played along with them. That's my dream come true. Like to start with, in '71 when I went out first abroad, I saw Sir Garfield Sobers captaining West Indies and Ron Kanai. The two great cricketers who I always, from when I was young, just thinking about them, how they played, and after reaching there, when I saw them in the field, first I don't know whether how can I play against these people. Then first ball I faced, the first two tests I didn't play. And first ball against West Indies I faced was and I was really thinking, because I don't know what he's going to bowl. Because I heard so much about him, that he bowls fast, he can, they say that sometimes he bowls quicker than the rest of the Charlie Griffith. Then he used to bowl all kind of speed. So I was just thinking when he started going back to him, I was just thinking, what, then he just came and bowled beautifully on my leg stump, full toss. I got it. Said, oh, he can also bowl that stuff. Then I told him after
He's
that.
human.
Yes. So I told him after that, I was so nervous and, especially facing against you. No, man, I just wanted to give a low full toss so he can get away. How sweet. So like that, the way I think he only told, of course, the way he is to come to Indian cricketers and tell what you're doing, why you want to play that shot, get settled after settling, you want to play that kind of shot. I mean, these are all, when you are thinking about how great and all, they're coming and talking to you. That's the beginning of, my career going further. Oh, it's all right. Even if I play against anybody, I get out, yes, but that fear was not there. And I'm really playing against this kind of cricketers. And further on, of course, my own colleague like him, unbelievable. Even though he said, of course, everyone knows that we had only a couple of century partnership, but even otherwise we had no century partnership, but 40-50 runs we used to have. As when you are on the other end, it's so much I learnt. Just looking at him, the way he approached, the way he left, the way he played, and the way from the beginning, he had all the shows, but he cut down of opening, and amazingly, then he Delhi Test, he showed what he is. He killed them. Forget it was there inside, but he killed them. So like this kind of, this kind of cricketers, I love playing against them. I never forget it.
Special fondness between brothers-in-law, without doubt. I don't know. I don't want to have any crystal.
Future of Test cricket will be around. Test cricket will be definitely around. We might probably not have 5 Test match series between every country. 2 or 3 countries might play 5 Test match series, but I think we will certainly have. Any tour now of another country, whether they come to India or India goes elsewhere, it will be a mixed one of Test matches, T20s, and one-day cricket.
Yeah, I fear for it, because the kind of gathering that we have today, if I were to take a snap poll and ask for hands to be raised for those who think that Test match cricket will not survive the next few years, I'll find no hands up in the air, that I know. But unless somebody's going to shock me, maybe not. But GRV, the future of Test match cricket, your words, 2 lines.
Absolutely, what he said, I endorse it, and
Your words.
Nothing like playing Test matches. Those who play T20 or one days, and you ask them, they want to play Test. And as I said, we have to play more Test matches in a series, not just sometimes you play only 2. I mean, why? You can play 7, 8 one days, and you can easily play 5 Test series. Not every now and then, but at least, if you play more Test matches, people also come and watch that as well. Because that is the Test, I always feel.
No doubt. But I think it's a little more complicated than that, and all of us will find out. But Rahul, I'm glad it smiles back, because if you think Test matches are on, everything is good. Well, we'll see what the future holds. For now, all I can say is that these 2 gentlemen to my left, this wonderful family, is a product of Test matches, and we thank you for everything you did and are doing for cricket. SMG, GRV. Thank you so much.